Oh, come on in, y'all. Come on in, love. What's good? What's popping? I'm having a little bit of a look breakdown. Not loving the look anymore, but we're here. Come on in, come on in. Hey, come on in, come on in. Hey, come on in, come on in. Hey, come on in, come on in. 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 Oh, come on in. Come on in. Come on in, come on in. Oh! I don't know what to see there. Come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Oh my God, come on in, come on in. Hey, come on in, come on in. She's not gonna work either. I'm freaking out. We party and we pray. On Spirited Sundays, I said we party and we pray. On Spirited Sundays, I said we party and we pray. Oh, on Spirited Sundays, I said we party, we pray. On Spirited suck. What it is, though. What's up? What's up? Can I get in? Can I get up in yo? Can I come over to you? Y'all, I'm having a breakdown, honey. Okay. I thought I liked the look. I get on camera and I'm like, I don't like the look today. So I'm panicking. This, that. I literally don't know what to do, but when I don't like the look, it's hard for me to continue. It's hard, baby. It's hard, but it's fine. All these glasses have lost. We've lost. Welcome to Spirited Sundays, baby. It's your girl, Miss 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 It's your girl, Miss Spirit. How are you doing? Hello, hello. If you don't like loud people, guess what you got to do, baby? Hit the X. But if you like it loud, you like it wild, and you want me to see you downtown, then stay here, honey. You guys, it's Sunday. It's Spirited Sundays. Like I said, I don't like the look today. It's gonna be hard for me to continue, but the show must go on. Here we are. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? Today is part 2 of anger management. It's the lipstick I don't like. I'm trying to cover it with the glasses, but it's really the lipstick. Today's part 2 of anger management, and we talking about how can we, you, I, me, and you, how can we win at conflict, okay? Last week, I told y'all I was throwing balls all last week. I was argumentative. I was feisty. I was spicy. And I said, you know, baby girl got a couple of things to work on. You know, she might not be perfect, unfortunately. And so we talked about that last week. We had anger management. And we talked about how anger is information and is not the enemy. Today, we're going to talk about what to do when you got the fist blazing, guns blazing, you're in the middle of conflict. How can we really back, give me 50 feet and preserve the relationships or the connections that we're working on, okay? So that's what Spirited Sundays is about today. How can we really win at conflict? How can we keep it from going to the next level, from escalating? But before we get into all of that, baby, let's get into the look, honey. Let's get into the look. I'm going for more of a the trashy 90s vibes. Y'all remember Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Christina Milian, the trashy 90s. Let's see it. Hey, okay. This look, I took the mini skirt And I went ahead and opened it and folded it down to give that trashy theme that I was going for. My style, Tata Tanisha, is girls, if you want to make a little boyish t-shirt, a crop like this, I made it to a curved crop by tucking it into the bra. Yeah, girls, if you guys have a t-shirt that you want to make a little bit cuter, tuck that thing up into the bra, give it the curve. And yeah, so this is my trashy 90s look. Again, shout out to the 90s. Shout out to Britney Spears, all of them. And I put it on with some pumps. Okay? I don't know if you guys can see them, but these are some pumps that I got from my roommate. She was selling them on her Depop store. If you guys don't know what Depop is, DEPOP, it's a place where you can buy gently used clothing, brand new clothing at better prices from people individually. I just ordered my Depop honey. So some things that you have seen me wearing from Shein or from other places, I now sell on my Depop, because you know your girl is all about making that coin, all about being a hustler. I worked at Bloomingdale's as a stylist for 3 years. I worked as a celebrity stylist assistant for 1.5 years. So I love getting people dressed. I love putting looks together. So yeah, shop the Depop honey. It's in the link in my bio under the Big Spirit Energy Instagram page. Okay. Sponsors of the day is Shein. That's who provided the entire look. Thanks, Shein. Love it. And my lip comes from a Black-owned makeup company, and that is Shop Marie Cosmetics. That's one of my line sisters. And I want to give a special shout out to my girl, Jaleesa Lachey, my other line sister. She is doing a program where you can send a book to inmates in prison. And so her program is called More Than an Inmate. And I'm going to be sending over Seed of the Soul by Gary Zukov. But I love that she's doing this program to help inmates get some books. So if you guys want to maybe be a part of that, you guys want to send a book to somebody that is incarcerated right now, and I think it just feels really good. I think it's mad dope. Then you can check out Jaleesa, Jaleesa, Lachey, Lashay, on Instagram. Okay, there we go, y'all. That's the sponsors of the day. Before we get into conflict resolution, who's here, honey? Who showed up? Who's ready to show out? Put in the comments, what's your name? Where you at? And give me a mood of today. What's today's mood? How are y'all feeling? Where you at? What's your name? And what is your mood of the day? Okay. I'm Spirit. I'm in Brooklyn, and I'm feeling very about that cash. I'm feeling very green today. That's why I put that in the look, but I do not love my look today. So now I'm half annoyed. Let's go. I see Michaela Renee. Good morning, Big Spirit. Hello, boo. She's from the 804. Let them know. Feeling renewed today. Amen. Let's go, baby. I see my baby girl, Crystal, from Crystal's Candle Room with the delicious candles. And she is in Arizona. Shout out to it. I see Jamesia, yes, from Nashville, Tennessee. And my mood is grateful, honey, because I am on Spirited Sundays. Jamesia, let them know. Let them know. Let's go. Let's go. I see Michaela from French Guyana, and she is so happy. I love that. I love that, y'all. My Atlanta accent has been coming out lately. I'm feeling animated. I'm feeling vibrant. I love to see it. Okay, I see Hey in New York, Rockland County, annoyed with others, but I am grateful for another day. Look, let me tell you something. I hope that this conflict resolution resolves all that annoyance with other people. I see Raquel is in Miami. Boo. Hey, Miami. And feeling lonely. My boyfriend broke up with me on Mother's Day. He was a narcissist. You might feel lonely now, but when a narcissist leaves your life, baby, that is actually a blessing. So mourn the memories and the good times, but also be grateful that you now can move on to a relationship with yourself that feels better and more fulfilling. You can start healing from traumatic relationships. I see Nala Coleman from Detroit. Hey, Spirit. Hey, baby. And she is feeling happy today. Hi, honey. I see Jordan Sierra saying hi on the YouTube. Torian from Ohio. Grateful to be here today. I'm grateful to have you. I'm going to read one more. Oh, okay. Two more. Stephanie is originally from ATL. Shout out to the fam, baby. And went to elementary school at Atherton. Oh my God, I went to Atherton. Oh my God. You guys, somebody from elementary school. I never believed that I was a child or a baby, but apparently I was. And she's in Virginia feeling renewed, oh God, I can't read. Okay, next. I see Asia in North Carolina ready for blessings to pour. Hey, I'm ready for blessings too. And last but not least is narcissists usually pop back in eventually. Protect your energy. I'm feeling it. And Vanna is in Jackson, and she's feeling a little scatterbrained today, but it's going to be all right. There we go, baby. There we go. Okay, y'all. Well, what's up? Thank you for checking in. Let's go ahead and center the energy of the day with a meditation moment. Remember, I feel when you take the deep breath. We're going to all take this deep breath collectively on YouTube, Instagram, my other Instagram. Let's take a deep breath. Today's mantra of the day is, I am powerful enough to conquer my emotions. I am powerful enough to conquer my emotions. Let's make it a deep one. I am powerful enough to conquer my emotions. If you don't know, if it's your first time at Spirited Sundays is where we take that power back, where we build our power from the inside, and we work on building our best lives out of building our best selves. So your best life cannot come about if you are not your best self. All right, so when you come to Spirited Sundays, it's time to line up, get them chakras aligned, get that mind right, get that body right, get the vibe right, get the energy right. And we are not afraid to check ourselves when we need to, okay? So like I said, last week was anger management part 1, where we talked about anger as information and some things like that. Go check it out on the Big Spirit Energy YouTube channel. Today, baby, is about when the guns is blazing, when you're mid-argument, how can we stop things from escalating to that next level? All right, let's get into it. Number 1, let me say this right now, okay? Let me say this right now. Hi, honey. Conflict cannot be avoided. All right, all the people that say, I try my best to avoid conflict. Oh, I don't really do conflict. Conflict can't be avoided. You are an individual person, and so is everybody else. We all have our own experiences, our own perspectives, our own triggers, our own lives. Okay, so there is no way that you're going through life avoiding conflict. So let's just go ahead and erase that whole entire concept. Conflict is not something to run away from. It's not something to be afraid of. It's something that if you have the right skills to learn how to manage it, you can actually embrace conflict, because conflict gives the opportunity for you to get to know yourself and whoever you're dealing with a little bit better. All right, so I like conflict because it's like, oh, we're disagreeing about something, but maybe I can learn something about you. Maybe I can learn something about me, or open my mind up to a way of thinking that I had not previously considered. All right, so that's first things first. We're not trying to avoid conflict. We're trying to learn how to manage it so that conflict does not turn into fighting, does not turn into arguing, does not turn into violence, does not become more than it needs to. There are healthy ways to disagree with people. There are healthy ways to state your point and to let someone else state their point without it getting crazy. Key number 1 to winning at conflict, and these are in no particular order, but the first key that I want to say is to ask questions before you start making assumptions. Okay? So the thing that I like to say when I'm about to get into it with somebody sometimes is if someone says something that pisses me off, rather than saying you always trying to belittle me, why don't you ask them, what did you mean by that? What were you trying to say? I'm offended by your last statement. Can you please explain it to me? Okay. When we're in conflict, sometimes it might be better to start asking questions before we start passing judgment on people. Because in an argument, where we both riled up, when everyone is fired up, the instant you start blaming and accusing people of stuff, can't nobody hear you anymore. I can't hear you. If you tell me that I always got an attitude, now I don't hear anything that you're saying. Okay, so what we're trying to avoid is those blackout moments. You know, you're arguing, somebody say something that pisses you off, next thing you know, boom, you on 10. To avoid these kind of blackout moments, it's important for us to ask some questions. So I wrote some down. What are you mad at? Let's ask that question. What are we even arguing about? What are you mad at? Did I offend you? Okay, if you're talking to somebody and you notice that their attitude is starting to change, it takes humility. It takes setting your ego aside to ask somebody, did I offend you? I noticed your attitude changed after I said this. Are you bothered by what I said? We got to start asking some questions, y'all. Another question to ask yourself, if you catch yourself going on 10, is it that serious? I had a small minor conflict the other day with my boo. We were laughing, joking, ha, 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 he. And I made him drop his computer and something broke. And he got fired the hell up. He was very upset, okay? And I'm like, hold on now, babe. Hold on now, babe. I know that you're mad, but this is something that can easily be fixed. Do we want to ruin the rest of the night? And you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is me going to 100 right now worth us yelling at each other, us separating? Is it worth us not talking to each other for the next couple of days? Is it worth us calling each other names? Is it worth us looking at each other funny because of this? Sometimes what we're arguing about is really not even that big of a deal, but it's up to us to realize that. And so when you start asking yourself some questions like, am I even really that mad? Is it worth not talking to my friend right now? Do I want to ruin dinner? Do I want to ruin tonight? That's a great way to start managing conflict. Someone said right here, how can I ask a question if they aren't capable of having a conversation like this? We're going to talk about that coming up. Give me half a second on that. So you got to start asking yourself questions. And I understand everybody is not mature, y'all. Everyone is not mature. Everyone is not emotionally sound. So it's kind of hard when you feel like you're always being the bigger person. It's actually annoying as hell. I've had friendships and relationships where I felt like I always had to be the one to say, like, let's simmer down for a second. But if neither one of y'all are willing to do that work, you're going to keep having conflicts. So to get to that point, we're dealing with someone who is emotionally maybe a little bit more immature, not able to talk. You have to start looking for the gaps. So the next key is look for gaps in the conversation. All right. Before you go to the next level, let's say you're dealing with somebody who's emotionally immature and they say something and they try you. They say something that they know is going to bother you. They say something that they know is going to piss you off. Before you go to that next level, before you get mad, it's important to look for those gaps and just stare at them sometimes. Sometimes you got to just pause and look and say, I feel like you was trying to hurt me right there. Before you allow yourself to escalate, sometimes you have to look at the people who are being emotionally immature and see them for what they are. They are either crying out for love They are either trying to retaliate on a pain or a hurt that they think that you made them feel. So when someone says something like, yo, nappy-headed ass, and we're in the middle of an argument, rather than get mad, rather than go off, sometimes I look at them and say, that felt childish. You're just trying to get back at me. And I'm not even about to let you take me to that level, because I don't have to entertain someone who, if you're too emotionally immature, I can still be a strong person and realize I don't got to go there. You're literally trying to piss me off. And when someone is trying to piss you off, they win when they get that reaction out of you. So look for those gaps. Look for that half second before you really turn up on them. That moment, and say, I think they might be just trying to get a rise out of me. And when you realize that you are dealing with people who are just trying to get a rise out of you, we move on to the next step, and that is take a break. Okay, sometimes you have to say, let's take 5 minutes apart from each other. Let's take 10 minutes apart from each other, then double back to this conversation. We got to look for those spaces to separate before we escalate. So that's what happened to me yesterday. Is that before I let a little small argument become something big, my boo was like, let's take 5 minutes away from each other. And by taking that 5 minutes away from each other, sometimes that angry energy can dissipate. Sometimes that gives the other person a couple moments to themselves. So you might need to separate before it escalates, especially when you're dealing with people who get on your nerves or who are trying to piss you off. They know what to say to make you mad. They know what to do to make you upset, and they're gonna really try to push those buttons. Before you let your buttons get pushed, say, "Hey, give me 5. Give me 5, because I'm about to really go off on you, and I don't want to do that right now." All right. So we're asking questions. We're looking for those spaces where ourselves, before we go to that level, where we can separate before you escalate. The other thing that we came up with this week, instead of matching energy, is come up with a code word. If you have a best friend or a family member or a partner, relationship, whatever, sometimes you need a code word that you can say when things are starting to get out of hand. Okay, so if I notice that me and you are bickering back and forth and we say, time out, time out, time out. What the code word allows you to do is to sit back and be like, I need to take a deep breath. The code word alerts both people that this is about to go too far. And when we are in conflict, we have to start looking a little bit, become more aware of ourselves. When stuff is about to go too far, you might need a timeout. Again, separate before it escalates. So come up with a code word that either one of y'all can say, and whoever's talking has to stop. The code word means hard stop. All right? So when we're arguing with people and someone yells out, pineapples, that means now you got to stop talking, and now I got to stop talking. And let's look at the situation a little bit more maturely as adults. All right, that's what code words are for. I used the code word 3 times this week, baby. And each time I was like, and that's why you don't need to. And he said the code word, and I said, So stopping the fire in its tracks is a great way to handle conflict. All right, stop it in its tracks with a code word, especially if you're with somebody that you love and care about and want to continue the relationship with. Y'all got to have some safe words to say, let's not go there this time. Because y'all all know when you argue with somebody a lot, you start questioning if they should be in your life. And it's not always that they shouldn't be in your life. It's that y'all need to both learn how to handle your emotions and learn how to handle each other. So a code word allows you to say, this is getting out of hand. Now, the next one The next tip that I have on managing conflict is to realize that it's not about winning and losing. And that's hard because really that's ego and that's pride. And a lot of us can't back down from shit because we're too worried about looking like the loser in the argument. But if y'all break up, who won? If the friendship ends, who wins? If the relationship comes to a standstill and y'all don't talk for the next 3 weeks, did you really win? So sometimes we need to remember that it's not about winning and losing. Okay? Sometimes it's about resolution. Let's come to the conclusion. Let's resolve this. And a lot of people don't like to admit when they did something fucked up. And y'all would really rather risk your relationships on that. You would rather risk your friendships on not losing the argument. But if y'all relationship and connection can't survive because you were too prideful, too ego-minded to take a step back, then you're losing regardless. Stop competing within arguments. Stop competing. Find the resolution. Find the love again. A lot of us argue when we feel misunderstood. We don't feel loved. We feel tried. We feel unappreciated. So if your partner is telling you, I don't like when you talk to me like that, stop saying, well, if you wouldn't do this, then I wouldn't have to. It's not about getting that last word. It's not about winning and losing. To me, it's about how can we resolve this so that we can go back to our happy times. But ain't no happy times when someone always feels like they got to compete or always got to have the last word. Okay? And I had to learn that too. I had to learn that I don't need the last word all the time. Because I'm always like, well, I'm right. And it's not about that right or wrong, baby. Like I said, if y'all fall apart, then you both lose. So learn how to put your pride aside and be like, hey, yo, I'm not trying to compete with you on this. I'm just trying to figure out what are your feelings? When did things go left? Ask those questions. Seek to understand in order to be understood. That's one of the 7 habits of highly effective people. Okay? Highly effective people seek to understand before trying to be understood. So ask, how can I better understand this person that I'm dealing with? I offended them. They offended me. Ask those crucial questions. Where did it go wrong? Why did we get here? All right, rather than going to that yelling match and both of y'all reach 10 and now y'all hate each other, resent each other, said some things that you now have to apologize. When we're in the heat of the moment, if we don't learn how to control our emotions, we're going to say some things sometimes that we can't always come back from. And that ruins relationships. That ruins trust. So if you want to have happy long-term relationships, you got to learn how to dial it back. Put the code word in. Take a 5-minute break from each other. Allow the other person to speak without you even saying anything. That was another method that I practiced this week. Because like I said, conflict is natural. It's going to be there. I let the other person say something. Then we had to separate again. Then I got to come back and say something. Then we had to separate again. What that separation does is allow for love to come back. It allows for God to enter. It allows for conscious thinking to come in. When you're mad, when you're on 10, you're not being conscious of your actions or your words. So by separating, you allow your conscious, higher level self to come back in. That's why we look for the gaps. When can we make space for our higher self to help us get through this conflict? Sometimes in the 5-minute break, I'm like, God, help before I cuss him out. God, help before I let her have it. So take that time to separate before it escalates and allow a higher power or energy to come in on both levels. Then y'all come back and talk. And if you get crazy again, baby, separate again. I'd rather separate in the middle of an argument than separate permanently because we don't know how to handle each other. Because if you don't learn how to do it with them, you're going to have the same problems with the next person. It's not always them. Sometimes it's you needing to learn how to manage your own emotions. Sometimes y'all really just don't get along. And I think people have a problem realizing when they don't like each other. Sometimes you and somebody could be arguing because y'all simply don't like each other. You all want to like each other. Y'all have tried to like each other, but y'all just don't like each other. But allowing that time to separate would even allow that wisdom to come to you too. Because sometimes you need to ask, do I want to be in this relationship with you? Do I want this friendship with you? And if the answer is yes on both sides, then y'all will learn how to work together. But your answer might be no. And so y'all also need to exit relationships where you don't like the person anymore. Y'all might have grown apart. And that's why there's always conflict and fighting. Y'all got to realize when this person just ain't for you anymore. But if they are for you and you do want to work it out, then you have to learn how to manage and resolve these conflicts and figure out why are we fighting so much. And sometimes y'all are not fighting. Sometimes small things are blowing up each time and it feels like you're always fighting. If an argument about a pen is now turning into yo mama's, that wasn't ever really supposed to blow up like that. That was just something that was really small that y'all let go to that level because y'all don't know how to manage conflict. Because now you took a jab, now I took a jab, now we both jabbing each other. And at the end of the day, everybody's hurt when that happens. So we're going through these skills so that we can avoid both of us being hurt and sad at the end of the conversation. The argument about the pen can end in 2 minutes or it can end in 2 days. You decide. Okay, and the last tip that I have, I said them all already. Okay, well, that's it, honey. Let me go back down through the list when it comes to resolving conflict. Number 1, ask questions before you make assumptions. Figure out what's going on. Where did it go left, if you can. If you notice somebody's getting mad before you start turning up, ask them, hey, yo, what's happening? What's going on? Number 2, look for the gaps before you say things you don't mean, before you let stuff escalate beyond where it needs to. Look for a space to allow your higher self to come in by separating, by taking 5 minutes apart. Separate before you escalate. Let them know. Number 3, it's not about winning or losing. Let that go. It's about finding a resolution. It's about moving forward. It's about agreeing to disagree if you have to, and move on. Next, create the code word. Create a code word that's a timeout word, the hard pause, the word that when we say this, we both know to back down. All parties back down. Take 5 minutes of space. Come back, try again. Allow other people the space to talk without you responding, without you interrupting, without you feeling the need to defend yourself. Let them have their feelings. Let them have their thoughts. And then when it's your turn to speak, allow yourself to have your feelings and your thoughts and don't allow them to interrupt you. And last but not least, look for the love. When we remember that we love this person, we care about this person, we allow our higher selves to come in. So take that space and look for the love. Is my partner feeling unloved? Is my mom or my dad feeling unloved? Okay? Someone said a spirit advice segment would be so dope. Oh, I like that. Y'all can email me, spiritsariel@gmail.com. I would love to talk about those kinds of things with y'all. But that's it. So if you're dealing with people who are emotionally immature and they're trying to rile you up, also remember, pause. You don't have to match that energy. You can really look at them like, now you said that to hurt me. And I could cuss you out, and I normally would. But what's up? I'm not even trying to go there. Okay, so every small thing does not have to become a big thing if we learn how to manage our feelings. We have enough power to slow down and be in control of our emotions. It's really up to us. All right, so think about that. Do I want to keep fighting? Is it worth it? Is it worth us not talking? Is it worth us breaking up? Alrighty? That's it. I love you guys. I wish you peaceful resolutions in all conflicts, because conflict is not to be avoided, baby. It's going to happen. But if you know how to manage it, you'll come out clean. You'll come out feeling closer. When I get through something with somebody and I understand them more, I understand more how to love them, I feel closer to them. Arguments usually make me feel closer to people because I'm like, okay, now we see each other on a new level. Now we know that we can get through things together with respect. Put some respect on your people. Put some respect on yourself. And put some respect on the way that you handle strong feelings. I wish you all peace, power, blessings. Thank you for being here. All past messages are on the Big Spirit Energy YouTube channel. I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Okay, bye. Damn. See ya. Okay. Bye. Okay.